Alright, real quick, we're going to take a look at how to find the distance between 2 points, starting with the 2 points that are on the number line. You'll notice here with the first example, we're just asked to determine if these two segments are congruent. Well, can't really tell just by eyeballing. We're trying to see if CB and DF are congruent. Congruent means that the lengths are the same. So the easiest way to do that is to do what's called the absolute value distance test. So to find that, we're going to take the absolute value of x sub 1 minus x sub 2, or you could change that around and do the absolute value of x sub 2 minus x sub 1. As long as you're doing the absolute value, it doesn't matter which one you do, which order you put it in. Alright, so CB, so from C to B, so from -1 to -3, so -1 minus -3, minusing a negative is the same as adding a positive, so -1 plus 3 is 2, so CB is 2. And then from D to F, absolute value of 2 minus 5. Well, that's going to be -3, and the absolute value of -3 is 3. So D to F is 3 units long. So therefore, no, they are not congruent. So we'd put like the congruent sign and then a line through it to say not congruent. Alright, so that is how you find distance on a straight horizontal or vertical number line. But most of the time we're going to be asked to find distance on things that aren't just in a straight horizontal or vertical distance. It's going to have a change in both. So to use that, we're going to use our distance formula, and we can find the distance formula. It is the square root of the difference in the x's squared plus the difference in the y's squared. Another way to think about that is we can think of making a right triangle with another third point that would have the same x value as the first point and the same y value as the second point. And then we could find the difference in y's here. So this would be, this length would be y sub 2 minus y sub 1. And this length would be x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And then, of course, we would square that, each of those, to get our a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we would do x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared equals c squared. And then, of course, we would need to take the square root of that, square root of both sides, because we don't want this distance squared, we just need it by itself. So the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared, that is our unknown distance, so PQ in this case. So that's where that comes from. So you can always think about making a triangle, or you can just use the distance formula. Distance formula is very helpful. Alright, so the distance between J, which is at 4, 3, and K, which is at -3, -7, we can label that x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2, and then just plug it in. Distance is equal to, let's see, we'll do -3 minus 4, and then we'll square that, plus -7 minus 3, and we'll square that. So now we move on to the next step, do the work inside the parentheses. -3 minus 4 is -7. -7 minus 3 is -10. Notice I keep those inside the parentheses because I need to make sure that I'm squaring the negative. So negative 7 squared is 49, positive 49. Negative 10 squared is 100. And so this simplifies down to the square root of 149. And I believe that's as simple as we can make it, and we'll leave it like that. Next, we're asked to find the distance between A and B, and they've graphed this for us. Again, if you wanted to, you could plot a third point here to create a triangle, a right triangle. But you don't have to. Basically, you can see this side is going to be the difference in y's, so that's going to be 9 minus negative 4, which in other words is 9 plus 4, so 13. This side is going to be 5 minus negative 6, so in other words 5 plus 6, so that's going to be 11. So to figure this out, we could just do the Pythagorean theorem. 11 squared plus 13 squared equals, we'll say AB squared. 11 squared is 121. 13 squared is 169. So we get 290. Let's see, the square root of 290. Let's see, 290. And pull a 2 out, and that leaves behind a 145. 145, I know I can pull a 5 out of that. And that leaves 30, so it'll be 29. 29 is prime number. So 290 is as simplified as we can get it. So we just leave it as square root of 290. So there we go. Yeah. Of course, you could have used the distance formula as well if you wanted to, but you don't have to, and you can just draw a picture. All right, hope that was helpful. Talk to you later. If you have any questions, just send me an email.